Tonight at midnight Mountain Time, Ronnie Lee Gardner is to face execution by firing squad in Utah for the murder of two men, a bailiff and a defense attorney, in 1985. He has a few appeals left. I don't understand how this happens. That appeals, I mean, obviously you can appeal up until they fire at you, but there's something in the Supreme Court right now, and as we speak right now, there may already be appeals being heard. He chose to be killed by firing squad. It hasn't happened since 1996. The most famous was, of course, in Utah. Gary Gilmore, about whom the book Executioner Song was written, was executed there. It brings to mind that very little has changed in our country, because Gary Gilmore was 1977, 78, I want to say, and we're 30 years hence almost, or over, and we still have somebody going in front of a firing squad in Utah, it's, to me, people say prison's about rehabilitation and punishment, and I used to, this is one of those issues about which I used to be pro-death penalty, and I'm not anymore. And I think that the Innocence Project and things like that, too many people are freed because of wrongful incarceration.
I think you are trying to sully the Sure name.
You think so? Yeah.
And that's why you've changed positions.
Right, that's true. That's exactly what happens. Okay. I'm just Huffington-esque in that way.
All right. No, I'm exactly where you are. I used to be pro-death penalty, and as I look at this guy, and he very likely did it.
He did it.
Yeah.
He did it. There's no question.
Right. And I think I got almost no sympathy for him. I'm sure to the right of you on that. The problem is, it's just, you think this guy did it. Are you positive everybody did it? And we found out through the Innocence Project and many other things that no, it turns out we'd convicted, an endless number of people and sentenced them to death when they hadn't done it. I mean, that's the thing. It's not being liberal or conservative. I believe in facts. And if you show me facts and you say, all right, look, these are the people that were on death row who turned out to be innocent, I go, well, apparently we're not doing it right.
Right, and societally, it's also about that. Do we want to be part of a society that kills people, that actually puts them in front of a firing squad and kills them? And I say no. And today I heard somebody on the news saying, and it's not a news person, someone being interviewed in Utah, saying, in the times of Moses, they would have stoned this guy. Well, this, to say in the times of Moses now is ridiculous. This is not the time of Moses. We've made, I think, a little bit of progress, or not, because we're about to kill someone. I have a little bit of a hard time with.
I love the times of Moses. Okay, well, in the times of the Visigoths and the Neanderthals, they would have eaten his ears while he was still alive.
They would have hung and drawn and quartered him.
Okay, and what does that prove?
And let's just be clear. This guy killed two people. He did it in open court. There's tape of it. He killed a bailiff and a defense attorney. He killed them. There's no question about it. Do we want to be part of a society that then kills him? I don't think so. I don't think
I'm more torn on that.
I just wonder, are eyes opened because of the manner of it? If this was a guy, just another guy, say in Texas, that's getting the death penalty by lethal injection, because he had a choice.
You're right,
as
JR.
we know. Are we going to go, oh, yeah, okay, because we know he did it. This is 100%, as you said.
Yeah.
Are we not going to say, oh, they numb him, he doesn't feel anything, he just goes to sleep?
100% about that. I mean, it's unusual. There are very few states that still allow it. If you are convicted before 1996 in Utah, you can choose to still have the firing squad. After that, you can no longer have the firing squad.
But I would argue it's irrelevant, okay? What I mean by that is, look, I'm comfortable with the lethal injection, okay? And that's a funny thing to say, but like, let's somebody killed my family member, right? I'd want him to die, and just my human instinct, right?
Yeah.
And as Ben always says, that's why I shouldn't get to decide the case, right? Because and doing a lethal injection on him doesn't bother me at all. But if you said, oh, but what if you ripped his head off? No, I don't want to rip his head off. Okay, that's great. So of course it matters how you kill him.
Well, it does matter how you kill him. But what JR is saying, that we're giving all this attention to this prisoner, this death row inmate, because of the way he's dying. And yes, it is a bizarre way to die. They bring him into the chamber. They strap him to a chair. They have a doctor with a stethoscope, actually feel for his heart. Then they place a target over his heart.
Oh, literally?
Yes. There are 5 sharpshooters that are in a window. 4 of them have a bullet. 1 of them has a blank. They fire and they kill him, and within seconds he's dead. They shoot him in the heart, and it is a very bizarre way to kill somebody in America now. And as far as, do you want to, I don't know that I would get great pleasure out of seeing somebody else stick a needle in the person who killed a family member of mine. I would want to kill them, or I would want them to just rot in prison. I think it's a societal thing too, but that is my opinion.
And that's the range of opinions. That's why it's interesting.
So we will look and see. Ronnie Lee Gardner may have just a few hours to live, or they may get a reprieve from the Supreme Court.
There's a little aspect of it that kind of fascinates me. The 5 sharpshooters, 1 has a blank.
Yeah.
So that you can say, maybe I was the one who had the blank and I didn't actually do this. I'm assuming that's the reason.
That's exactly the reason why.
Because is there going to be a conscience thing now?
Absolutely. That's why they do it.
Why do you sign up to do it if you can have a conscience about it?
It's part of your job. It's not that you volunteer to do it. It's part of, there's the possibility that if you work for the Utah Department of Corrections and you are a prison guard or a sharpshooter within the prison system, that may one day be part of your job. So.
Right. I wonder, though, if you drew the short straw and you got to be one of the executioners and you said, look, I just can't do it, whether they'd fire you.
I don't know. I doubt that they would. It's probably a pretty sensitive thing. It only comes up once every 15 years, it seems, or 20 years. And there are only 4 more condemned inmates on death row who have the option in Utah of selecting the firing squad. But, you have to feel like there are probably some of them that are raring to do this too.